Hi, it's Dr. Kramer, and I wanted to analyze a sonnet with you today, just to kind of demonstrate the kinds of skills that you'll need when you are doing your discussion post this week about sonnets and about the other poetry. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about this sonnet first. This is Sonnet 91. It's written by Sir Philip Sidney, and it's from his longer work called Astrophil and Stella. Astrophil and Stella is a long sequence of sonnets. Astrophil means star lover and Stella means star. So it is a sequence of love sonnets. And I'll tell you a little bit about the gossip too behind Sir Philip Sidney. He was a courtier in Queen Elizabeth's court, and in the lecture I will talk about Queen Elizabeth's court and how she gathered around her a group of courtiers who would kind of do this elaborate play like courtly love, with her being the lady, the object of love. So he's in that kind of setting. He didn't want any of his poems published before he died. He was very private. And the gossip is that he wrote this for someone named Penelope Rich, who he wanted to marry, but she was forced to marry someone else, Lord Rich. So some of his poems have a play on the word rich in them. But here he's addressing the beloved as Stella, or star. So this is kind of like his inspiration, just like Laura de Noves was for Petrarch. So that's the background of the sonnet. I'm going to read it now, which we always want to do before you start really analyzing it. Stella, while now my honor's cruel might, I am from you, light of my life, misled. And that fair you, my son, thus overspread, with absence's veil, I live in sorrow's night. If this dark place yet shew like candlelight, some beauty's peace like amber-colored head, milk hands, rose cheeks, or lips more sweet, more red, or seeing jets, black, but in blackness bright. They please, I do confess, they please mine eyes, but why? Because of you they models be. Models such be wood globes of glistering skies. Dear, therefore, be not jealous over me, if you do hear that they seem my heart to move. Not them, oh no, but you in them I love. Okay, I'm going to talk about a few kind of thematic things, and we're going to start in with our actual formal analysis. A couple of things that jump out. We see the capitalization of these kind of emotions like honor and sorrow. So that's something that would jump out just right away. The other thing that's jumping out to me is, let's look at how he describes Stella. And he has this blazon, which we talk about in the sonnet, the Intro to Sonnets portion of the lecture, where he's describing a catalog of body parts. So we have an amber-colored head, milk hands, rose cheeks, lips more sweet, more red, or seeing jets. Those are eyes. Okay, so we've got a lady with amber or blonde hair, white as milk hands, red lips and cheeks. Those are those three colors, the white, gold, and red, that Plutarch uses and that other people in the sonnet tradition also use. And then her eyes are different. They are black. So seeing jets, so jet being a black stone. So that's just a few kind of themes that jump out to me just by looking at this. And some things that are kind of putting him very squarely in the Plutarch tradition. Now it's time to start looking at the rhyme scheme so we can see what type of sonnet this is, which will tell us where the volta is, or the turn. So we've got might, that would be A. We have led, B. Overspread, B. Night is A. Candlelight is A. Head, back to spread and led, so that's B. Red, and bright. Rhymes with candlelight, night, and might. Okay, then I get to eyes, which is a different rhyme. So we'll call that C, and B, and skies, and me, which would be D. Move, which is something completely different, so we're going to call that E. And then we get to love. Now there's a few things going on here. First off, they rhyme by sight, so it's a sight rhyme because move and love look the same. They look like they're spelled the same, and any logical person creating a language from scratch would make those words rhyme, but they don't. So there's two things that could happen here. Either Sidney is using what's called a slant rhyme, which means it's close enough, or this great vowel shift that's going on between 1400 and 1700. This poem was written in the 1500s, so we're square in the middle of the great vowel shift. So it could be that when Sidney wrote this poem, love and move did rhyme. And we often see move and love in rhymes together in poetry from this era. So that might be the answer to our problem. Okay, so this rhyme scheme is A, B, B, A, B, B, A, and then it goes C, D, C, D, E, E. So there's a big break in the rhyme scheme here. And the break in the rhyme scheme shows me where the volta is, the turn. And so I'm going to write this on the side, hopefully you can see it, but it's in your notes on sonnets. So let's see what happens before the volta and what happens afterwards. Before the volta, we've got Stella, I'm gone, I'm away from your light, I'm in sorrow, and then I see these beautiful things, like maybe another woman that looks like you, or I see jet in jewelry, and then I have the volta here. So let's see what happens after this kind of sadness of being apart portion in the first part of the sonnet. They please, I do confess, they please mine eyes. But why? Because they make me think of you. Okay, so we see how the rhyme shows us where the turn in the sonnet is. This is a Petrarchan sonnet, which means that the rhyme and the ideas shift here at the volta after the first octave or 8 lines. And then the last sestet is like a conclusion that's drawn from this verse. Yes, I'm sad and you're gone, and I see these beautiful things and they make me think of you in the second part. And don't be jealous when we're absent from each other. I am true to you. So that's Sonnet 91 from Astrophil and Stella by Sir Philip Sidney. Just a very brief formal analysis. We'll see you next time.